Good times day, all creatures of water exchange ratings, and welcome to Kingdom of Aldana, where Mark Bot couldn't make it today, and we're very sorry and very sad, but the show must
First
go
not so
on.
with
The show must go on, and we have that guy in the bottom right corner here. He's around. Yeah. Anywho, previously, on the Kingdom of Aldana, you ladies and gentlemen have continued your exploration of the glittering halls, obtaining new controls of your wonderful, wonderful tram, and finding a side passage that has led you on a different route to the maintenance room. You have explored it thoroughly and found an old corpse that had a humanoid automaton, a humanoid golem, attending to it. Taking both the corpse and the golem and a multitude of other equipment and blueprints, you had a rather complicated conversation on the reasons for being down here and on wasting time, with Leos urging the party to leave immediately and resume your attempts to find Zerulus, Oko, and by proxy his friend. The party has voted, majority agreed, and you took the trip back to the elevator, encountering a rather curious spider-like war machine in the process. But you safely entered the elevator, ascended, left your newfound items with the hyperbole workers, and took your first, well, not first, I mean, you haven't been gone for more than a day, to be honest, but definitely long deserved, long rest. And we are now the morning of the next day, when all of you wake up rather late, and honestly are free to do whatever the hell you want.
but we probably do need to set up a meet with Hyperbole people to do the debriefing thing, right? We didn't do that yet. That's out of character question.
You
Asking.
definitely have not done it yet.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Okay.
As,
Go ahead.
some those of you who get up early might notice that Leo is already awake, and he's basically staring at Melora. And as soon as she awakes, he will approach her and ask if she could do the scrying with him.
She nods and says, I will gladly give it a shot. And I do so.
Thank you.
Could you do the spell for me? So I don't have to find
Yep.
it. Alright. So let's go with this. Then let's see. I believe you have shown an illusion to everybody, right?
Oh yeah, but, should have known. Said before. The flute that I got,
Yes.
that belonged to her, right? At some point.
At some point.
At some point. Would that help? It's not really one of her possessions anymore,
Are we talking about the coil?
I would say. Yeah.
I'd say it has been in a different person's possession long enough to lose.
Okay.
Like, if you have anything else,
No lock of hair.
No, I used them to clean my...
Yeah, understandably.
No, not really. I didn't write anything down that would connect to her. No, I will just use the illusion and cast disguise self on myself to imitate her to the best of my skills.
Okay, and I focus on him intently as I try to cast the spell.
just a moment.
got to be real creepy when you wake up and he's standing there next to you.
Oh, who's
was-
this new lady on the team?
I was sitting in the corner.
Okay, you cast the ritual and concentrate on the surface of the orb as it clouds, and you feel your mind and your vision trying to connect, and the connection does not go through.
She
The number
frowns
you've dialed,
disappointedly. Huh?
the number you've dialed cannot be reached right now. Please try again later.
The person you're trying to scry is currently dead on another place of existence. Please try again later.
Oh yeah, by the way, are we retconning the difference or not?
No.
Okay. Then a quick out of character thing I would like to mention, just so we are somewhat on the same page. So today is the 19th, it's Saturday. Sunday is a great opportunity to go looking for the cult thingy, because they usually appear then. And the 21st is the day we have to leave if we want to go to Taub Amuig, which the king asks us for, which isn't set yet if we want to do it or not, but we'll have to inform the king beforehand, just so we know it's in 2 days, basically.
So, I imagine there's gonna be the usual breakfast and other shenanigans.
Mhm.
And let's say you finish with that by 11. So,
Taking our
Can
sweet
I-
time. Go ahead.
Before I would have came downstairs, was Ralph still in the room with me?
he is currently, well, you're not sure he sleeps, but he's under your bed, like a chest is supposed to be.
Okay, unless he actually shows that he tries to come forward or move or something, I'm not going to bother him then.
I mean, like you're looking for him, like you were looking for him, right?
Yeah, I was looking for him because I'm kind of curious if he was with us, if he may have picked up something that we didn't know about.
Oh. Right. Yeah, I guess knowing Ralph, like if you're you're looking around and then you look under the bed, and right, I guess in his chest lid, and then he kind of shivers a little bit, and his many dozens of legs sprout, and he lifts a little bit, and the chest lid kind of opens a little bit, and the huge mahogany tongue gives you a lick.
All right, she's going to pet him, giggling, of course, and she's going to ask him, "Were you with us in the halls? Did you find anything by any chance?"
He crawls from under the bed, and leans a little bit to the side, does a 360, leans to the other side, turns away from you. You see his lid open, and sounds of stuff dropping onto the floor. He shakes a little bit, more stuff falls out. He jumps a little bit, more stuff falls out. Then he kind of turns around, sidesteps a little bit, and sits down next to a pile of stuff, looking very proud of himself, tongue sticking from one side of the lid. And then
She
just
pets him.
watches you.
Oh, you're such a good boy. Can I sense if anything's magical?
Do you have spells that allow you to do so?
Shit, no, I don't.
Then I'm sorry, I don't have the ability to sense it. You can try and figure it out with your brains.
Is there anything that sticks out? Like, I know that they might want at the
Roll me
at
an investigation
whatever the
check.
location is. Okay.
Let's go first roll.
So, you find 3.5 pairs of boots. You find what looks like very crushed remains of at least 3 drones, the security drone ones. They look to be very badly damaged, let's put it that way. Like the crystals are just pieces of crystal, pieces of stone, and the armor pieces are all bent and chewed. You find an arm, a metallic arm. You find one of those like floating heads that one of the automatons had. And you find a human skull that misses lower jaw.
Are other people in the room as well? Or is it just you there, Jesse?
I think it would be just her. She wouldn't have another guy in her room unless it was Trago, but Alright, well, I don't think they'd be interested in a human skull, so I'm gonna let Ralph eat that back if he wants it.
He licks it up.
I'm gonna take the floating head and one pair of the boots, and I will let Ralph eat the rest again if he'd like it.
He likes it very much.
She pets him. Thanks a lot, boy. And she goes back down to do the scrying spell.
So, what's the plan?
What are our options? Well, let's lay out what we first have to go do.
Well, I'm sure Hyperbole will come knocking for that debriefing if we don't go to them when it's good for us, so we might as well just get done with it, get it over with. I think so. I mean, no point in delaying that, really.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, tomorrow is a good day to start looking into the cult if we're still interested in that. And apart from that, it's mostly up to... I mean, it's 2 bigger choices we have to make here, right? It's either we try to go after Octavius within Nebo and risk whatever we're risking there, that Oko completely withdraws. If we don't manage to get enough out of him, we'll be stranded for, well, who knows how long. Or we wait until tomorrow, see where the cult leads us. Maybe that throws up a lead we can follow. Maybe there's also the thing that's close to the Lunar Woodlands that the king asked us for, that I would personally like going to, but I still don't think it's very important compared to other things we have to do, so either way I'm fine there. But I think anyway, even if we are to start some assault on Octavius within his mansion in the city, a couple of days will probably be a good idea to get ready for it. I'd at least like to wait for tomorrow. I'd like to see what we can find out about the cult, and if that throws up anything before we take a step that'll likely make us leave Nebo for a very long while.
I have a question. 2, actually. This cult of can you tell me a bit about it?
Sure. They're called the Cult of the One-Eyed God. And they basically, they're a bunch of fanatics who dress up and go to the gates of the temple district on Sundays to scare children, shout their prophecies, harass other people. They're usually dressed in gray robes. And from what we heard so far, they're probably under the influence of either drugs or magic.
Are
also
they are they wearing masks with
Yes.
like
Yes, they are. And a lot of people who sort of seem to, take part in the movement look completely completely normal after they participated, which is why we came to the drugs in the first place. There's also some prophecy they're shouting, but it's mostly just about that one-eyed god and the end being near, and that the true followers of him will be rewarded when he rises.
There's also that they do some disturbing acts, like lighting themselves on fire.
The one of them did that, right? Yeah. During that concert.
I've run into some people wearing masks like that.
Here?
The other question, this king, you are somewhat close to him, correct? Like, I heard the stories about how you helped him and how he pronounced you heroes, and maybe he could have some contacts that could help us track down Leo's friend.
Funny thing, you are my contacts that are supposed to help me find her.
Through the king.
Yeah.
So that information isn't quite as good as the one the patrician has access to, it seems.
In my experience, if we have someone in power, like Cerilius, who is at the moment more or less untouchable, right?
Correct.
Legally, anyways.
Legally, at least, yeah. So, I think the basic decision is if we try to go after him on the legal way. So, if we go for the cult, we might find out that he has connection with it and give the patrician any necessary grounds to move against him, which would be the favorable result, right?
Yeah.
Because we would have his support. Melora, if I understand correctly, you failed to get a connection to my friend 2 times.
I think it was at least 3 times, yes.
Or even 3 times.
I remember twice.
Is there any way for you to specify if she's dead or if she's resisting? Is your spell something that someone can resist? I don't know. I haven't used that spell.
I believe it's possible that they can resist on their own. I'll be honest though, I've never come across anybody that's resisted. I've used it to check in on my parents, and each time the spell has been successful, but I'm assuming somebody with a strong resilience, maybe strong willpower, might be able to resist it. But my thing is, if they don't know that it's happening to them, how could they resist it?
I'm fairly certain you can resist it. If you remember back in Kreuzung, we paid Mrs. Cake basically to scry on your parents back then, and she didn't succeed after getting a description of the parents. So we don't know if it's the description part or if your parents resisted it without knowing it. But I'm fairly certain it's possible to resist it.
Could you cast it on me, and then we find out that way, or any one of us?
We could certainly give it a shot.
I mean, out of character, like, since you can cast a spell, you would be aware that, like, the more belongings you have of a person, the better it works. So, the very fact that you have never met this friend of Leo's and you have none of her belongings already makes it far more complicated than it would be to use it on, say, Jahan.
Okay.
Okay. I could get some of her belongings if we do actually meet with the princess.
So that might actually be a good idea in that regard. Look
It
at the
would.
cult tomorrow, and because it can give us a lot of information if we are able to find your friend with Melora's help just once, right? It would
Right.
give us a lot. So that might actually be a good idea.
So basically, the plan is check out the cult tomorrow. Or wait, today's Saturday, right?
Yes.
Okay, we check out the cult today. Once we get our information, we head back to Craigson.
We're not going to Kreuzen directly, we're going to Taub Week, or however you pronounce that. I don't know Elven names. That's where that diplomatic thingy is happening.
Okay.
But first, we gotta go to Purple.
Yes, we can. I mean, that'll be fast, right? Laura, you drew that map while we were traveling, right?
In character, yes. Out of character, no.
I was asking in character, yes.
Yes, and she takes it out and she hands it to them, or lays it out on the table.
Make me a quick intelligence check just to see how to scale the map is.
All right.
Oh god.
Not that
Can
anybody
I-
would know that it's wrong, but
Can I use spend luck? Oh!
I-
Look at her
Nice.
go! Look at her go!
like you're basically looking at the map, and there's like some point when Melora like said, "Fuck it," and they just like stopped drawing. Like the length of this hallway is like this long and then continuous. Because it's a freaking long hallway, the one that with the rails that you rode.
Definitely.
But it's a very well drawn map. Like even the shower rooms have like tiny shower cabins and.
Oh, I love the details you've made there. Oh,
She just
you're really
smiled.
good at this.
Oh, thank you.
Almost as good as Jahan is at cooking, I think. Who knows? I mean, let's just get it over with, right? And then we can... I mean, the cult is really gonna start up tomorrow, but we can already do a couple of things to start looking into it, right? We can take a couple of precautions in that way, and then see where it leads us.
Oh,
Hey.
before I forget, and she sets the floating head, the boots, and the other thing that she picked out. I think it was just those two. Ralph picked these up while we were there too.
Oh,
Oh, well, I'm sure. I mean, I don't think we want to keep this for ourselves. None of us can really do anything with it, right? So, might as well hand them over as well.
and if they find out, people,
Yeah, they probably wouldn't be very pleased. So,
yeah.
since we really can't do shit with it, I mean, it
Right.
makes for a nice decoration. You could wear
To
it.
be
on your
honest, I
shoulder.
wouldn't mind having some sort of decorations from this.
Yeah,
I
you
like
could wear the
collecting
head on your shoulder, but it would be very obvious.
I never got your sense of fashion.
What are we talking about, Trego?
Decorations.
Well, it's something like you poke a hole through the side of its head, and then you pull in like an iron bar through it, or like a metal tube. Then you put a chain in it, and you have it hang from your backpack. So when people come and see, they're like, "Oh, he has a robot head on his back."
Not my style, but I like it.
I do it.
A slight out of character regression. It could
Golem.
not be a robot head because
True,
robots
Gollum head.
don't exist. But
It's a
yeah.
golem head.
Golem, yeah, like mechanical doll, like that would exist, but it wouldn't be called a robot.
Sure.
Alright, so where to?
I need quickly.
What if we go to Hyperbole today, do the debriefing, and after that we go to the spot where tomorrow the cultists might be, so we get it.
The idea of the layout and such.
Yeah, exactly.
In
we might
regards
come up
to,
with- Oh yeah, shoot.
okay, in regards to the cult, I've run into them before. I've seen them work alongside Knowles in the past.
You
If that's
did.
of any relevance to you, Lord.
No. Where? What? What's what's a null exactly? You know, that guy Severus mentioned it in the description, but I have no idea what it actually is.
A gnoll is a wretched, half dogish, half man beast that likes to devour the flesh of the innocent.
Okay.
Half donkey? Never seen
No,
a donkey.
I think he
Flesh
said,
of innocence.
he said dog.
Ah, dog. Okay, I heard
Yes. The other thing would be even more terrifying.
Definitely would. What? Where was that?
Hmm. It was in Akeland.
Poland? Okay.
Yeah. I was part of a little group called the Aegis of Akeland, and we ran into a lot of gnolls.
How long ago was this?
Hmm. Quick, out of character
Don't look at me.
question. It was. I think it was like 2 years ago or something.
I love it how Dan's like, don't look at me. I don't know shit about this.
No, I mean it's.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we discussed it, and it's not my backstory.
Yeah. True. I think it was about 2 years ago or something like that. It was a while ago.
Honestly, the one-eyed god feels so connected to Octavius, or Ceruleus, or however you want to call him. Just, I mean, he has one eye, right? So,
That's racist.
Not
Well,
the only
that-
one. Hashtag not all the one eyes.
I'll just mention it, but you'd be painting all Cyclops with like one brush, right?
I don't know. It's the only Cyclops I've met, so I'm very comfortable with that decision. Yes. Just saying. Have you met?
I'm
him?
not feeling very good about this.
Wait, so
Sure.
you're saying the gnolls worship also the one-eyed god?
Well, they had a dwarven cultist among them who had this mask on him that fits the description exactly of what you're saying. I didn't think more about it then. I just, chopped his head off.
Maybe they're
After.
trying to
Try.
recruit more people to their ranks. With kindness and some say donations, kind of like how Pip got some worshippers by being nice to people.
Yeah, but that's Pip. That's different.
Gnolls aren't really about being nice. They're about
Also, goblins are not about being nice. Well, not everyone.
that's a different thing. They're not gnolls. Like if you saw a gnoll, like their whole culture is built up around eating people and being shit. Okay, I might be biased.
But it's pretty.
Gnolls suck.
It's pretty important to know that it's apparently already been around for quite a while, right? 2 years over there. I'm not entirely sure how long it's been here, but probably not that long. Anyway, let's get going. Let's see what Hyperbole exactly wants from us. Maybe we can also pick up your eyes after, or did you out of character, were you able to keep them directly? Eyes? I don't remember. The glasses. Use.
No. I would get a chance to state that I want to keep them.
Okay, yeah, that will do that then. Let's get moving and see about the cult later.
All right.
So to hyperbole.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. Just give me a moment.
As we're walking there, I would walk beside Melora and ask, hypothetically, if my friend wasn't on the same plane of existence, let's say she was in some kind of hell, would you get a connection with your spell?
I don't think I would, to be honest. That would actually make sense that I wouldn't be able to. But it's possible your friend may still be alive, just not in the same plane as we are.
Yeah, that was something that crossed my mind because, I mean, the events were very hazy when we got attacked. But I'm quite confident I saw something like a devil or a demon controlling the attackers. Some big figures standing in the back.
Do you remember anything else about the creature or the demon? Like any kind of features at all?
Out of character question, did I even get some details? I didn't write any specifics down.
The information I remember giving you is that you saw a waggly, like dog or bull-like in shape, but huge creature that breathed fire.
But there was someone in the back controlling it, which I did not see.
No, that one
directly,
you did not
right?
see. No.
Okay, so basically, there was a fire-breathing dog, and it was huge. But I didn't get any other features of the creature in the background.
Yeah,
Does that ring any bell?
would that be a religion check or a nature check, DM?
That would actually be an Arcana check,
Okay.
because apparently Arcana, speaks about creatures from different planes. No, and you've never heard about this kind of creature.
Hey,
Go ahead.
if we go to Lady Kazar, maybe we should ask her about that. She seems like the person who might know this shit.
She probably would. I wouldn't see why she wouldn't. I know she's very smart from when I've interacted with her.
Is there any library in the city? Anything where we might get this information?
There is a library. I don't think you would. Well, if the information you're looking is there, Pip used to work there.
But in the past, she's told us that getting access would be basically. Well, I think we need the patrician for that one.
I have a question. This dog of yours, did it have a scorpion tail?
I don't think so.
Alright.
Why? Why a scorpion tail?
Just... Never. If it had, I might have seen something like it.
Seems like you've seen a lot of things.
Well, I've been active. I didn't get this armor from sitting around.
So to Hyperbole?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're already walking.
So, you take your 20-25 minutes to reach the building where Hyperbole is located, and it seems that your presence was anticipated as the ladies at the reception greet you warmly and very quickly escort you to one of the many waiting rooms that you have already been in, but not 5 minutes later. The door opens and car salesman type character that you have previously enters the room, along with, as usual, prim and proper Severus Percusson carrying his black leather bag. Well, it's great that you came. I was already ready to go pick you up. I did expect you to have your late breakfast. It's great that you remember the business first. Sit down, sit down. I imagine you have quite a long story to tell us, and Mr. Preckerson over here has so graciously agreed to help explain everything that needs to be explained about the legal procedures and the taxes, as well as provide any kind of input that is necessary from the side of Nebulous administration. So let's have your story first, and we'll record it, and then we'll talk about your payment and whatever you wish to purchase. Sounds like a plan?
Sounds like
Well,
a plan.
Kind of like takes out the small, well, not a small, but like this big box, and kind of opens it, and you see there's inside a disc that looks made out of quartz, and can like fiddles with it a little bit. All right, over here.
What's that?
Oh, this device records our conversation for later playback.
It's like a mechanical scribe.
Yes, but better.
Wow.
Does it impersonate our voice?
No, but
Like a parrot?
a little bit better. Let's put that it just records. It transforms your voice into arcane sigils and describes them upon the matrix of this crystal. To be fair, I don't quite understand the technical process of this thing. It's one of the wonderful devices that we have found in the glittering halls. But all that you need to know is it works, and it makes our job a lot easier, and, well, saves our time and yours.
Sure.
Also, we have a recording in case you lie to us in the future.
That's an
Yeah.
amazing device.
About that, we actually found a couple more things that weren't in the other bags that sort of traveled along in a different place. Laura?
Oh, she gave him the Trago.
What do you mean?
She gave you a golem head and it was one pair of the boots. Wasn't sure if the boots might have been magical or anything.
Can we like, Bill kind of like, It's like, oh, right. Well, that's honorable of you. Kind of picks up the boots. I'll return them to our folks.
Sure. So, where to start?
I can go ahead if you want.
Go right
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay, so we start by riding down the elevator. Then we go into some place where there's this box thing, metal, that just rolls around. And when we go up to it, it just starts going beep, 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 beep. And we are all like, we don't know what to do with it. So we do all kinds of things. And at the end, we just like kind of let it go along. From there, we then, it looked like it was cleaning. You probably have seen others. Anyway, we go to another place where there's like water things, tubes with water or something. Very, very strange. And there's these strange thrones set right next to each other's with like things putting setting them apart. Very strange. Fascinating people that have lived down here. Anyway, we bug about a bit, go around. We fight some of these drones that shoots fire, laser light, all kinds of stuff. And let's see, that's where there. We found a lot of rooms where when we tried breaking down the doors. Also, if I miss out any, you guys just...
Yeah, maybe we might want to... Melora, if you show the map you drew, I'm sure it would help the story to, understand it.
Oh yes.
It would also help if the story could be told in a slightly more consecutive manner and with a greater choice of words, if you understand my meaning. He kind of like glances at Darles.
Help
Ah,
me.
sure. Okay. So when we came down with the elevator, there were basically three paths, and thanks to Lias, we were more or less able to ascertain which led where, and we figured that the one that led car would probably be the one we wanted to visit last, since it would contain the most danger. So we went the other ways, which are basically just recreational facilities or places where you can have fun time, or places where people live. And the places where people lived, it was basically split into three corridors. We followed the first corridor, and that's where we first met that metallic cleaning golem that he talked about. It was a little too big to bring with us, which is why we just let it stay down there. But honestly, the parts that aren't connected to what we'll later see is like a moving vehicle are not very dangerous from what we could ascertain when you don't damage anything in there. They seem to be very low on things that guard it. So it might even be possible to send people who aren't quite as experienced into these parts to get more things if you're interested in that. After following that tunnel, we basically came to a crossways where there was a place where people could eat, a place where people could wash up. That's also where certain parts that you collected from us can be found from. And it definitely looked like there had been some epidemic that we weren't certain what killed a lot of the skeletons that were still down there, but it looked like it happened rather immediate, because in the place where people gathered to eat, there were quite a few leftover skeletons, and that is also where we started collecting those blue cards, which are basically cards that
Something to add here at that point. Some of the jumpsuits that the skeletons were wearing showed signs of burn marks, which might become later important.
yeah, it's entirely possible that they were set upon by their own creations. But basically, we brought a little bit from everything we thought was somewhere interesting from these living facilities. We looked at what kind of places they lived in, and it was really scary, to be honest, because everyone seemed to live in the exact same shitty setup that was recreated. Who knows how many times we didn't kick in every door, but we kicked in quite a few, and it always looked the same from what we gathered. So I'm not entirely certain there's anything valuable down there, really, apart from if you could find more cards of people who are maybe of a higher level than blue. From the cards we brought you, you could see that we had like 5 blue ones and 2 red ones. Blue ones are basically people who maintained the system. From what we can gather, just normal workers. I didn't quite understand the words. And the red ones are security officers who were in charge of gates and the liking. But the cards don't really help against whatever is the kind of golems that protect the place, because showing them doesn't really do much. They just act as an entrance. Also, these 2 ones, if they do connect to the people showing them, then they're not gonna be of great use anymore, because we've been labeled something that they call terrorists, which I don't. Who knows what they mean by that exactly? Yeah, and that was basically the first part where we looked through all of these recreational places and got an idea for the general living situation down there. But it wasn't really, most of the things that were of value were things we provoked, the security drones, more or less. And other than that, all of the other interesting things came from the other parts, which you can see on the map here. So the first place we went to was a factory that basically created, it was gigantic and operated by the out of character, I don't know how to describe, the different kinds of tropes. I'm just gonna say work with drones and assume he knows what we mean. I can describe it to him in character a little more detailed, but
I mean, to be fair, you don't have to be even all that detailed with your description. Just if you wanna say them something specific, you can say that, and we can assume that unless you wanna lie about something, that you just tell them very detailed description of everything. Just
yeah,
say it.
I'm perfectly happy to cut it short.
Anything you would like to concentrate their attention on?
The kinds of securities that bigger places seem to carry. Definitely the spider thingy that chased us, and that from what it looked like, they learned from each encounter a little bit, where they got the defenses got smarter and adapted to the way we fought them. And the fucking giant stationary golems that shot at us. And that probably, if they want to focus on anything, the part where the core is still. We're not going to lie about how far we got. We probably going to say that there's probably a lot more back there to be explored. But we couldn't clear that part per se, so they might want really experienced people as well, or people who have a little more time than we do.
Alright. The reaction you get is he is gonna be asking you a lot of questions, like details about this, how it looked like, how it worked, how it operated, like did every single door opening device look the same, like as in will be simple to recognize it, yada yada yada. Asks you a lot of questions like this. And it appears that while they were somewhat aware of the fact that security tends to increase and improve, what you describe has been a magnitude faster than what they have ever seen before. So while they express very deep regret that you failed to reach the center, and because that's where they believed was that huge space they
the actually valuable
assumed
stuff.
to be because of the layout of the high floors. They seem to at least understand that it might not have been even within your ability to go there with whatever resources you had, because to be fair, you're cool, but you're only 5 people. Right, well, that has been quite helpful. Our employees are even still trying to sort through and understand what everything you have brought does and how much it's worth. So, a couple more things we need to discuss. First, if you wish to, we could already deposit your minimum payment. Today we have Saturday, so it could be dropped into your bank account or into a new bank account by Monday at the latest. That's 15,000 gold we have agreed upon. The rest of the money can be deposited only after we assess the actual cost of the items. It should take at least 2 work weeks. So whether you leave us with a banking number or come back to pick them up later. Yes?
I have a question. Those glasses that we were given, how much are they?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Can I ask an out of character question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it my imagination, or are they offering us more and more money time? Because I
No.
remembered 10k, 15k.
Yes.
10k, 50k, sorry, 10k minimum, 50k maximum.
It was 10 to 35 originally, 15 to 50 was the latest offer.
Okay, I just misremember in that case.
Yeah, I think so.
I just wanted to ascertain if maybe he's trying to pull something where he gives us more money, which doesn't make sense, but you know.
Where was I? Oh yes, so there's that, and Severus over here will explain to you everything you need to know about taxation and, well, you'll figure it out between all of you. And if there is an item you would like to purchase or have saved for you, please give us the name of an item or a list of items if it's within your reward, that is within 15,000 gold or more if you're to it more, or if you have any additional accounts that you're welcome to, that you are ready to set towards this purpose, then please tell us the maximum amount of money, maximum amount of gold you're ready to dedicate to purchase, and if the item is assessed to be within the sum, we'll have it prepared for you. If not, well, make a list of several. That solves the problem.
I want to keep the eyes of minute seeing.
That is most certainly doable. Yes.
I'm not interested in anything.
Johan mutters to Elias if he still stands near. I'm ready to have my split of paper towards those glasses.
I don't think they're that expensive.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, our agreed upon this item as your only item.
Well,
Looks like it.
depending on how much it takes up of the coin we have, that chime could come in handy too, I think.
I really don't want that piece of shit. It's associated with bad luck, and let me tell you, that kind of shit you don't mess with. No, I don't want that.
Well, this item is not very expensive. I am certain it is somewhere in our accounts. Within a couple hundred gold, maybe slightly more.
You remember the sign I said I wanted?
Well, yes, about that I do remember, and I have to admit it's nothing more than a sign, and I did argue for throwing it in as a souvenir. But I'm afraid the rules are the rules, and the superiors have asked me to inform you that a single item is a single item no matter what it is. An extremely valuable piece of equipment or just an old shoe. I'm sorry. I wish it could be done differently. So, it dies.
Which superior exactly is that?
That was Mr. Tassiter.
Mm-hmm. Can we see him?
I would have to inquire. But
How
Mr.
about you
Tassiter
inquire?
is a busy man.
Hmm? How about you inquire?
Let's finish our current negotiations and I'll see what can be done.
Sure.
In that case, I'll input the item you have selected in our terms and agreements. And if you would sign over here.
I
Who's
signed the
signing?
paper
Yeah, okay.
with Leos.
Alright. Well, in case, please inform us if you would like your 15,000 gold payment deposited as soon as possible.
Do you guys have bank accounts, the two of you?
Nope.
Just
wanna-
put it all in your account.
Okay, and we can withdraw from there to divvy it up after.
We could prepare all or some of the money in platinum trading bars. Anything in low denomination would be too heavy.
I think it's your decision, not mine.
No, it's fine. I trust you enough that you will give me the part of my part of the money.
Sure.
Same.
And could I have your account information, please?
There I go.
But wait a minute. If he's gonna put it in the bank and then we're gonna give it to him anyways, why just not have all the part, like everything, in cash?
What? Why? Why would we want it in cash?
No, but he says he doesn't have a bank account. We can't just transfer his part to another bank account. He's gonna want it in cash, right? I mean,
Yeah, we can withdraw from the bank as soon as it's on there.
and they said they are willing to prepare the sum of money in cash.
Whatever you want. Sure.
Cash it is.
Yay!
For 6,000.
So 6,000 in cash and the rest to be transferred.
Yeah.
Your account information, please.
I give him my bank account information.
Yeah, I guess he is gonna like write up, make like a check with hyperbole seal and signature, and basically the check is for is 9,000 gold, right? And you have to present it to the bank, and they're gonna transfer the money to your account, or more like. Basically, when it's done, whatever. I don't even want to think about this. It's gonna happen.
It's fine.
If you think shopping list is boring, wait till you come and see our banking sessions.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to pause on
Next
this.
level! We finally leveled up to the banking session.
And you're like, okay, Mr. Dungeon Master, now we're gonna go to the Nebo Stock Exchange. So, which commodity has the highest rate of return in this day of the month?
Accountings and stocks and all that kind of good stuff.
Somewhere in Ireland, Mark is like,
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, they're gonna deal with all of it, and you've agreed upon. Actually, it's not 9,000 gold. It's less. It's gonna be less because your eyes,
Yeah.
and your eyes are also gonna be transferred to you along with the cash whenever they
Sure.
prepare it. What else is there to be done? Yeah, I guess that's about it. Unless you guys have any more questions for him. No?
Oh, wait, he wanted to inquire for Mr. Tesla.
Yeah, I am waiting for that one.
How much is that dust? The thing that gets water away.
Second?
Dust of dryness they would have to assess per the price, but I don't know how expensive that is. I
I
mean,
would take some of that.
it's probably a little more expensive. I'm not sure.
If you're curious in the price of such item, I could inquire for you, but you have already agreed upon the ice, and thus, upon our agreement, that is the only item you
Oh.
can purchase off of us.
Right, all these, I'm not so good with these trade kind of things, so I just kind of, I get a phone and I say it out loud.
Right.
The ice.
Alright. Well, in any case, I'll go process the rest of our business, and you should have your payment in due time. Mr. Severus over here will explain to you everything else you need to know, and I'll see if Mr. Tester would agree to meet you.
Yeah. I'll be waiting here for Mr. Tassiter to meet with me or us. I don't mind. But do let him know that or at least I'll be waiting.
Right. Well, have a nice day.
You
Thank
Me
you,
too.
and likewise.
he leaves, and Severus, who has so far been mostly just like doing some notes and relative listening to our session, like moves a little bit so that he's in the center of the table, opens up his leather bag, and kind of like starts taking out pieces of paper, and also takes out like a small box covered in black velvet, opens it up, and there's like a monocle that he inserts into one of his eyes. And meanwhile, he starts talking. Very well, I
Sorry,
need to
one
explain
second.
to you.
One
he
second.
he actually like points up the finger, like saying for you to be quiet.
Shh, you shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to explain to you the technicalities. He kind of inserts the monocle and starts very attentively looking all over the room. The technicalities of taxation system in Nebo in regards to any adventuring and treasure finding activities. He seems to find nothing, walks out to the door, opens the door, looks both sides, walks inside, closes the door, removes the monocle back into the box, continues talking as he takes out like a pouch and takes out of it about this big like egg-shaped carved monolith that he places on the middle of the table and kind of like starts turning it around and aligning whatever carvings on it there are. To be fair, there's not much for it. Most of the documentation is processed by Hyperbole to make it easier for groups such as yours. They will be paying all of the taxes, and the sum in the contract is the full sum you will receive. You need not to pay any other taxes or submit any documents to the city-state of Nebo. After receiving your payment, you are free to go and do whatever you wish, and do please spend your money within our wonderful city. He presses something and the carvings kind of light up. And now we can have a conversation in security. Our latest one has urged us to improve it a little bit, if you understand what I mean.
What? I didn't get any of that.
This device in front of us is one of many devices that have been found in the glittering halls. It is a device that magically disrupts the sound waves within a certain radius around it, which prohibits any non-magical ways of eavesdropping upon us. Sadly, it also means that we will be unable to hear anyone talking outside of this radius. In addition, I have taken a lesson from this young gentleman and utilized another device which allows to see any invisible arcane sigils or individuals or objects that allow to scry magically. And I believe we are, for now, quite secure from any and all means of espionage.
I don't presume those come cheap, or there are more of them that we could borrow.
I'm certain that with your new wells, you might find individuals and members that are capable of producing them and selling them to you. Sadly, I cannot offer this one to you, not for any
No,
money.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I'm more interested if they're available in general. Because that's very handy right there. Does that mean if someone screams in this room, even that can't be heard? It goes as loud as possible?
It does not completely block the sound, but anything you say comes out as unintelligible garble on the other side of the barrier. So if we argue, it would be obvious, but what we argue about will remain a secret.
Good to know still. Okay. So, so far we've settled on that we likely, very likely, won't be making you too much trouble in the next couple of days. No promises for afterwards, though. We'd like to take a closer look into the cult of the One-Eyed God. And
Before we continue, for the record, I believe the creation of this item has cost our city about 5,000 gold. But we had discounts. I am afraid you might have to pay more. How much, I am unsure. Going on to our business at hand, I do have multitude of news for you. Some you will be quite happy to hear. Some, well, you'll have to hear them first. Concerning the cult of the one-eyed god, according to our information, we expect their next and final, and indeed the greatest activity to happen tomorrow. On behalf of Patrician, I would like to inform you that this matter is between the city and Azure Vigil, and you are not to interfere with it in any means or manner. If you are found or caught disrupting the workings of the Azure Vigil, you'll be treated according to the law and ordinances of the city-state of Nebo, and if you cause any damaged property or casualties, then, well, informally speaking, you would be lucky. You would be lucky not to be caught. I would like to remind you that most of these individuals are still citizens of the city, and it is a matter that must be resolved formally. Yes?
Is there any way we could help these Azure Rituals guys with this stuff with the cult? Because like
We are very grateful for your offer, and we consider all of your actions as you have to understand that right now most of you are strangers to the city. You are not citizens, you are not bound to the city, and while we are very interested in building a friendly and mutually beneficial relationship, there are just some things we can't allow you to do. This one, and speaking between ourselves, is a mean of reputation for the city. We are aware of abilities of the Azure Vigil and their capability to capture these individuals without any harm done to them. But while you are certainly capable of destroying and killing very dangerous individuals, I imagine you're not as good as policing.
well, we could keep your capture individuals alive in case there's more resistance. Then
I'm certain that our prison cells will be able to take care of a couple, quite frankly, normal individuals. Furthermore, they might require medical assistance once their drugged condition fades. In any case, you might be interested in hearing another piece of news. Mr. Cyrillus has declared publicly that evening of Saturday, that is today, he and some other individuals will be departing the city-state of Nebo on one of his ships in celebration of an anniversary of his company's founding. I personally do not believe that that is the reason, and it is too much of a coincidence considering what will be happening tomorrow, but that is the official means. The trip is supposed to have Cyrus himself, as well as some of his employees and other beneficiaries of his company, traveling on one of the merchant ships retrofitted for this trip outside of the Nebos territorial waters, and will most likely last throughout the whole of tomorrow. However, I promise you that this is most definitely a trap. I cannot predict if Cyrus himself will be on board or if he will not be. We will be able to find this out only this evening when the ship will be boarded. And you are welcome to do whatever you wish with this information. But once again, everything that happens within territorial waters or territory of the state of Nebo will be judged according to the laws and ordinances of Nebo.
Looks like we might be going on a cruise.
What's the name of the boat?
Rock bottom.
Boat you make boat face.
Yeah.
The name of the boat is Minotaur.
Milita, okay.
Minotaur.
Minotaur, like the horn thing?
No, it is a Slavic word for minute.
What's millet?
Minute, a mean of measuring time.
Oh, a minute. Okay.
Okay, it's actually just okay. Mhm.
It's just a minute.
Yeah, just a minute. If possible, I'll try to find a way to inform you whether Cyrus is on board or not, but it is quite possible that even our sources will be unable to obtain such information. And once again, I'd like to reiterate that this is 99% a trap, most likely meant to capture or harm you greatly. So proceed on your own risk. Moving on, Lord Patrician has decided, considering that it is most certainly known to our adversaries that the city-state of Nebo has personal connection to you, to drop some pretenses and increase our partnership. However, for other purposes and for the public eye, your meetings with Lord Patrician would still be greatly restricted. I hope you now trust me to provide you information on behalf of Lord Patrician and inform him of your interests. There are also some decisions that I have been authorized to make on behalf of his, but some matters would still require time to be processed and approved.
Yeah.
Moving on with other slightly more pleasant terms of business, Mr. Lewis, concerning your friend, Lord Patrician would like to inform you that we will undertake everything within our power to find her if she is indeed located within our city or within the territories of Nebo. If she is here or has been moved through them, we will find it out and inform you. If we find nothing, then you will have to seek her other places.
I give a slight bow and say this is deeply appreciated. Thank you.
And concerning your trip to Fristwinder, I would like to remind you that while it is possible to navigate the pass in the winter, the longer you wait, the greater the dangers become. And while we do have a friend expecting you, please be mindful that at a certain point he might decide that it's not worth it, and your chances of navigating the pass without sufficiently skilled guide are very low. So if you do mean to undertake the trip, please do not delay too long. And Lord Patrician would like to inform you that if you need to cut on the travel time from Nebo to Tor, then the Erie is at your disposal. but you're advised to inform His Majesty that you will be traveling through Aldana with a real means of transportation.
Excuse me, the Erie?
You know what the Erie is. It's the tower where the Griffon and Hypogryph forces are located. So basically it means that you can lend some of them. Borrow, I guess. Not lend.
Can I make an insight check again, just to see if I get a sense that he's talking the truth and he did not kill the patrician?
You can certainly try. Go ahead.
24.
There seems actually it seems that he is talking to you somewhat less formally than compared to previous stations.
So I generally believe what he says.
There are no reasons to not trust him.
Okay.
At least none that you see.
Out of character question, did I understand correctly that if we want to move against Ceruleus or get on the ship, we should tell him? Or are we already free to do that?
He just warned us that if we do it within the limits, while we're still like in their
Then we're
waters,
fine. Yeah.
then we'll be, treated as people are treated to do that.
Okay.
Question. What do we want to do in Frostwind?
There's a single connect to Okho that we found in Ceruleus's place. A mention of a certain person who's sort of one of the outside hands that acts on Okho's behalf, who might have a lot of information to get to him in the first place. But it's we don't exactly know too much.
Sounds like capturing him and bringing him back here could be a great bogey.
Yeah.
Speaking of additional information, curiously enough, there are rumors that someone in Frostwind has located means of navigating the Endless Mountains by a faster route than the one usually taken.
He is going to be a rich guy.
He is, and it is also believed that it might have had certain
Help?
Yes. Certain elements within our city might be involved. And on other rumors, though strange, we have received this morning an official request from the High Priestess of Everesca. She has requested information about the Heron Stellars. We had no reason to refuse such information and provided them with any official information we have about this group, which, to be fair, so far has amounted mostly to you entering the glittering halls and exiting them safely. Which is quite an achievement, but...
Could we have that information that you handed over? Can we have a copy of it?
He just told us what.
No, but he summed it up.
Don't think
that's not all the information they have on us.
No, it's not, but it might be all they sent.
Considering that the information had to fit within 25 words. Oh,
got it.
25 word chance. That is about as much as we could provide on this. Officially, Nebo maintains a neutral stance towards your group.
Out of character, I didn't quite get that. So the High Priestess of Everesca did inquire about us. Was that correct?
Not about you, about the Heron Stellars.
Oh, Heron Sevens.
It might have a lot to do with the fact that Pipip and Salan are actually probably in Everesca by now, or wherever Pipip's family is exactly. Anyone else feel like they like traps?
Did that ever stop us?
I'm actually quite keen on stepping into that one. If you ask me. I give you guys a look and
Yeah, I have a
do we
couple of ideas.
want to talk here about this?
This is the safest place we're gonna have to talk anywhere.
Yeah.
Yep, that's certainly true.
Well, basically I have a Pegasus. I could just fly onto the ship as soon as it's out of territory.
Or
I could take maybe one person with me.
we could just sink it and see whatever swims to shore.
We could
Again, he
also
said
do that.
it's not officially that he is going to be on the boat.
Yeah,
Boat,
that's
ship.
Also, there might be innocence about it. Like,
Fair.
he did say that it might be some sort of party, or so he might just invite along some randomers, like kitchen.
But he
personnel.
also said that there's a 99% chance that it's a trap. So everyone included in the trap might be his followers or
Cerullius is also considered
Since he
innocent.
is still in this room, and if you allow me to intrude upon your strategic meeting, one, I believe that it has been in both our and your goals not to just kill Cerullius, but rather secure him for future information.
no one's talking about killing him.
And furthermore, at this point, I am not certain if lives of innocents are worth more to Cerullius than taking care of your group.
sure.
After all, they could be written off as horrible incident that has been, well, you know.
That terribly sounds like him. Okay, so just to make it formal, who's for going to this trap and who's for going to investigating the rumors about Window, the new path there. So
I mean, we literally have to go to Fristvindur to find out about the rumors, right? So, I mean, this
but
the
no.
boat party is literally today.
yeah, but he said
this
the
night.
certain elements, or certain people. I don't know. He said certain something of the city are involved in the new path to Fristvindur. But these are rumors.
Yeah, fuck rumors. Let's focus on what we actually
On the trap.
Yes. Well, I mean, we can treat it as such. If we know there's a very high chance that it is a trap, so we can prepare for it.
In voting, who's for going to deal with?
They're not
Cerullius?
mutually exclusive. Yeah, I'm coming for that.
I'm coming, whatever we're doing. But I'd like to go to
Still good
Freshwater too, if that's a solid lead up there.
And Jesse, since you don't have a camera, what did you vote for?
Malora would have gone with the majority, but if somebody actually said what Dan said in the chat, that they're thinking about sinking a boat of
Oh, yeah.
civilians, she definitely would not be.
I suggested sinking a boat earlier. There's no mention of. We don't know how many civilians are there. If there.
That's not the final plan. We're just saying let's go deal with that. That's not the final plan of how we're going to deal with it.
It is though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, she would. She votes to go for Cerullius.
I would. I mean, Trego would profusely object that idea.
Wait a minute, isn't that what everybody's going for? Wait, I'm confused.
think he means sinking the boat.
Sinking the boat.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm against hurting innocents.
Yeah, can we?
Yeah.
It's
But so far, it seems like the majority are for going to a boat party,
I like parties.
and I don't
Like
think
boats.
anyone is objecting.
No.
Good. So
No.
now
Go straight
there's
for the
only
source.
So there's now only the matter of how we're going to do this. How do we like to do this?
Honestly, from what Melora mentioned before we went down into the glittering halls, I think the water will be more to our advantage than to our disadvantage.
Right,
Breathing
just-
underneath it, being able to walk on it when they probably can't, or not all of them, being able to fly high above it.
Can Cyclops breathe underwater?
I don't know. Who cares? If he
Just
can,
making sure.
he'll probably still be alone.
I would like to inform you that Nebus territorial waters do extend several dozen kilometers from the shore, so
Yeah, we can wait until
you
he's
might
out there.
seek an alternate way of moving that distance before using here.
Can we have a boat?
I'm certain with the funds you have been provided, you will succeed in securing one yourselves.
That sounds like a plan. Heavy armor and being out on deep waters don't usually mix that well. Do we have something to make sure that we don't drown, like magic, potions, something?
You guys remember that folding boat we didn't take?
but we would get it on Monday, right? We didn't.
Yeah, fair enough. We'd get it on Monday. I don't know. I'm still down for. I'm sure there are other smaller boats on the bigger boat where civilians can fly to.
You know what I have learned in all my working experience. Let's call it that.
Go ahead.
Isn't it that?
Those who feel protected become very, very arrogant. And
I'm not sure if you're talking about us or about
No.
him.
I'm talking about him. I think he's in a position where he thinks he's very, very secure. He might think that that we're a threat, but I think he's playing with us. He's showing off the times that he visited us, the time that he visited you specifically in the tavern. I've seen that, and he's very, very confident.
Yeah,
And
but then again,
if he plans a trap, I'm pretty confident he will be there to see the trap snap.
I don't know. He seemed rather cowardly to me.
then again, before he had us pinned to a wall with threats on our families, but now that I think he doesn't have a grasp on us. So we are more of a threat to him currently.
Well, there are still your cousins, but it is within Nebo, so it's still decently safe, I guess.
But I mean, obviously he thinks we're a threat. I mean, he tried to get us to join with him. That right there, to me, says I don't think he can take us. If he had the ability to take us out, he wouldn't have given us a chance to join him. I don't know. That's my feeling on it.
I don't
What?
know.
He did do that?
Yeah,
did
he
say,
off-
join me.
Basically,
Yeah.
he offered us a lot of money and payment to look the other way.
Well, that's not the same thing as
It
joining.
was basically, it's also sort of, the joining part was so sort of implied in certain parts, but it was more about looking away than anything else, I think. How about? I know. Well, I don't think we can really plan unless we have seen this nice little ship he's gonna be taking out there, like the size of it, how many people will be on it.
And we need to secure a ship that can take us there.
Do you have any such? Johan looks at at Cerberus and asks,
Say again?
the guy that we're sitting with. Johan looks at him and says, "Do you have any sort of plans or information over the ship, or do you know of any captains you could suggest to us that we contact in regards to hiring someone to sail us out there?"
Well, regarding the ship, as a Minotaur, it is a standard freighter ship. It takes about 20 people of crew, but considering that it will be retrofitted and storage spaces will be removed to be replaced with, well, whatever kind of part it has came up with, it could take on as many as 200 people. It is not a fast vessel, but it is rather durable and sturdy. As for the captains, I'd rather not give you a name, plausible deniability, so to speak, but I am certain that someone at the docks will be more than ready to earn some gold by taking you on a fishing trip. And, well, Neb is very known for night fishing, if you catch my drift.
What we'll probably need for this plan to work seamlessly is one, a vehicle of our own, a fast-moving boat, preferably, that we can get there and get out of there. A way to secure Ceruleus, and on the way back that he doesn't kill himself or runs away or fights back. And when we get somewhere, we need a secure place to ask him questions. Basically, most of the biggest three things we need right now.
Severus, hypothetical question. We do this outside of the city bounds and we return Ceruleus.
If you
somehow
relocated
captured.
within city premises with Cerulus as your prisoner, then since he is
Yeah,
a
I
citizen of the city, we would have to rescue him with all means available.
This place could be on either on our boat or a place in Kratesum, but we
I'm
go
afraid
southwards.
that our military will be unable to leave Nebo waters. That would be against multiple agreements. It would be truly...
I'm saying it's not in Nebo. It could be either on the boat or on Kratesum somewhere. Not Kratesum, Aldana somewhere.
I don't think we can transport him for that long.
I would
This is
also
just,
like to... It is quite possible that Cyrillus is more than ready to lose the vessel if it means dealing with you.
Oh, I assume so. I don't plan on setting foot on that one.
Please be very prepared.
We haven't done much extract operations, let alone on sea.
We can't do it unless Melora can help us. I'm not setting foot on that ship. There's too much, if you remember his office and the anti-magic things that went off, those go off again in if that bolt is outfitted to have something of the like ring. I'm not setting
That,
foot
however,
on.
is far less possible.
Yeah, less possible, still possible.
We have reinforced some of administrative structures with various magical means. From what I know about magic, it is almost impossible to enchant a moving vessel. It has to be tied to a spot in place in time. It is impossible to protect a building. It is not possible to protect a carriage or a boat.
But
That's good to know.
those nice little manacles you put us into,
That is different, and yes.
And I'm sure he'll have more funny tricks like that too.
I have a funny trick. It's an adamantine hammer.
That sounds funny, yes.
That's hilarious.
I know, right? Hammer time. I'm not afraid of his boat.
Me neither. Just of stepping foot on it.
What if we had another? Well, never mind. I was going to say if we had a smaller boat, we don't have to stay on there the entire time. Just once the smaller boat catches up to his big one, then we storm onto it, like a surprise attack.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't.
We could the safe place that we could actually go to is, since we're going southward, we could end up in Neverwinter and maybe storm right there, where in a city that doesn't exist.
Do you know how many days of travel that is? He's supposed to be out like 1 day.
Oh, yeah.
1 day. He's not taking a long trip. And I don't know if you want to take a 2-week journey. No.
Can you mark the territorial waters of Nebo? Because I thought it was like up till here.
Wait a moment. Well, keep talking. I need to find something.
Like
I'm
the
just-
laws of territorial waters.
I'm just saying, if the boat can fit up to 200 people and has been repurposed for whatever, then I don't think a surprise attack is a good option. That's why I vote for just sinking the ship and seeing what happens from
No.
there.
No.
But there's innocent people on there.
You
We
don't
can't
know
take
that.
them
don't
out.
know. We don't know. How about we check the freaking boat before we
Okay,
make
so
any
let's-
plans?
But let's say there is worst case scenario. This is definitely an extract mission, not a sink a boat and hopefully get a mission.
Like,
Well,
getting him would
could-
mean failing the mission.
Usually we don't do things the sneaky way, but this seems like the sneaky type of mission we need to do.
Yeah, and we can't.
Sneaky.
I wouldn't
We
say
don't
we
have that.
can't.
No,
Well,
we
I
can't.
can. I can.
See, I wouldn't say we can't, Arliss.
No, him being able to do it doesn't mean we can.
He's part of the group.
Well, I do have abilities that help us sneak along. I mean, Arliss, can't you turn invisible as well?
No.
Who was the
Well,
one that was able to out of character
I
then?
can, I
I
can
wa-
do that. I can become invisible. I can make up to
About this much.
4 people invisible.
And I can do
Okay.
pass without a trace.
Oh, awesome. That's good.
It's like 50 miles about in each direction.
It's 50 miles from the shore in each direction?
Well, approximately, yeah. I'm going. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No.
And the 4 people, you can cover the 4 people, and I can cover 1 person with my invisibility spell as well.
Well, I would prefer if we can split more even, because I
Yeah, that's fine.
do have some tricks that I would like to use on.
Ceruleus.
At least I don't think invisibility is concentration.
It is.
It is.
Oh, then I can't do both. It's got to be either invisibility or pass without a trace.
Um,
Trying to get on his boat and questioning him on his boat is too risky.
I have a question. You
Sure.
mentioned that him killing himself was an option.
Oh yeah.
Has that happened to you before? That
Yes,
Oh yeah. Plenty.
could you?
once.
How did that happen?
Cavity tooth with poison.
Oh,
Who
So
knows what
we-
other options they have, though.
Well, how about you use your hammer to get rid of all his teeth?
He still needs to speak, doesn't he?
No. He doesn't. He just needs to think.
We
You
need him as a vegetable.
Even as a vegetable.
Very
do you
dark.
have any? Do we have anyone here with any experience at keeping that from happening? That thing with the teeth.
Oh,
Jan says and looks at all Sarah's friend.
no, we weren't been able to prevent that, and that's only one way. Yeah, that's only one way.
I mean, if he's the right hand of Oko, maybe he has some other form of protection. We need to be prepared for that. I think we should just head out to the harbor and just keep an eye on the boat. Because if we see like 200 people going on there, then we can see how that might change our tactics. If we literally only see him walking on there, we don't even need to speculate about saving some innocents.
All right. Reconnaissance mission.
Yeah.
We do need to. Well, no, I'm sorry.
I mean, we can talk all day about plans, but that just means that the ship might leave the harbor before we even get there, and we don't even know what the boat looks like. I think we should just go there now.
Okay.
What if they see us, gathering information about them?
Well, then
I
let me
could
do
go
that.
there.
No, let me do that. Do that. Should we go?
Sure.
I'm going to try and think about more options than rather just sinking a whole boat.
Can you do that while we're walking?
Yeah, while we're walking.
towards the
Yeah,
harbor?
I will.
Awesome.
I'm a kind of walk and think person.
Cool. That's good.
In that case, I wish you luck, gentlemen, and I hope to hear from you again.
All right. Goodbye. Nice meeting you.
Thank you for your help.
He nods and starts picking up the device.
We head out.
Before we head to the boat, can we quickly go by the bank? Because I presume as soon as we are starting whatever we're starting, we're not going to be returning to Nebo while we have him. So there's a good chance we won't be returning for quite a while. So let's take care of small things we need to take care of now.
Let's
and then we
take
can
a
do that.
5-minute break first, and then we'll continue with everything you want to continue with.
Yeah, be right back.
let's go. So, I believe you want to go to the bank for some reason.
Just to deposit the writ we got. The thing
I'm
we
having
got.
this thought.
Actually, I want to wait for my meeting with Mr. Telliser or whatever he was called.
Tessadar.
Testar, whatever. I want to meet. I'm waiting here. I can join the rest of you at the docks later on, or back at the tavern.
Okay.
Alright, in that case, where is everybody else going?
To the docks.
Yeah, but we just said like it's not smart to go as a group there because if they're gonna see us, then they know whatever.
That's true.
Well,
But
it's not,
I had a thought.
Sure.
I could go there and say I heard of the party and say like, hey, I can cook. Perhaps you need someone to be a chef at the party, and I could like try and be all sneaky like and cook for them.
Trego would agree with you. Tal doesn't. Wait,
I
let me
like
get
this
character.
idea. It's
Yeah,
great.
you could wonderfully. That could be an interesting take on this if you're part of the crew.
I'm not there anymore,
No,
unfortunately.
you're not.
I actually like this plan.
His charisma is 0. You
I'm
know
like-
that.
I'm imagining your party as a group of bars, and like this bar called Reason, and as Iris is further and further away from the party, the bar goes.
Gets dumb and dumber. But his cooking here is so good. Like we don't care that you're a spy. Spy is great.
Yeah, spy pie.
You may be
That
a
could be something
spy,
I made.
but you're great with spices.
Spy.
Spices.
Yes.
Huh? Huh?
Oh yes.
And then there's another bar called Terrible Puns that goes.
Is it, actually, I think it's not a bad idea.
We're doing this.
I'm glad we have a plan then.
The thing is, as far as we know, Ceruleus doesn't know that he is part of the group now.
Who? Jahan?
Ceruleus, yeah, Jahan.
I don't think he knows that you're a part of the group either. Oh wait, maybe he does. He has eyes everywhere. Wait, he did see Jahan. He did see Jahan. When there was this invisible eye thingy. He saw him. He saw him.
Okay, let me handle that.
I'm gonna have a clever disguise, like an apron and a chef's hat.
They'll never know the difference.
Okay. Let's go to the harbor and just take a look at the boat.
Are all
Then
four
we
of you
decide
going?
how we will handle that.
All four of you going there?
I'm gonna stay as safe. Like when we get to
Can you let me maybe scout ahead?
Yeah,
and
that's what.
check the scene.
Yeah,
I was actually thinking that we should perhaps split up in groups of 2. So me and Leos go together, and Belora and Trego go together.
The thing is, if I'm alone, I'm more quiet,
Okay, that makes sense.
and you have this huge, massive armor.
Yeah, I kind of stand out in it.
Yeah, you do a bit, but in a good sense.
Yes.
I will just go ahead and I will look for when I get close to the harbor, I will look for an empty alley and cast disguise self on myself.
Okay.
I will dress myself as a fisherman. Just some normal clothes. Nothing too fancy. Nothing that would stand out.
Alright.
And I am a male 50-year-old dude. Yeah. And then I will just stroll along the harbor and see if I can find, first of all, if I can find the, what's it called? Minotaur?
Listening. By the way, when we went out of the glittering halls, did we have a long rest?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. Maybe I'm just like looking around. Make
Yeah.
a perception check.
All of us?
No, only he, because he seems to be the only one actually looking.
Okay.
Well, there's one thing you notice about the docks of Nebo, and that's that they are humongous. You see easily that at this point there are at least 5 sail ships being unloaded or loaded, and that's not counting the multiple smaller ships like killboats or rowboats or fishing boats or yachts that are being otherwise worked on. And I mean, nobody's stopping you from trying to walk past one of those 5 big ships and looking at the name of the ship, but it's gonna be hard to do without drawing attention to yourself.
Okay. First of all, I would. All the 5 big ships are all in the same place.
Well, not in the same, but in the same part of the docks.
Okay.
Because the ones that have the cranes and stuff like that.
Okay. I would like to look for a fishing boat that would or someone who would rent his boat for nightly fishing. Someone who has a ship that is at least big enough for us 5.
Right.
Yeah, and someone who does seem a bit trustworthy, maybe, who doesn't look like he's going to, I don't know, kill me in the middle of the ocean.
Sure. Make me an insight check. All right. Well, you see a gentleman who appears to be closest to your assumed persona in age, also like 50-ish. He has graying hair, almost fully gray by now, rather strong-looking, weathered, slightly tanned face, brown eyes, like wide skulls, like big serious mouth. He seems to be busy working on his nets, and he's wearing mostly, like common fisherman clothes. There's a Macintosh on the side of the boat, and he's wearing this somewhat unconventional. It looks like a little bit more fancy than a fisherman would need, but he's wearing this like wide-brimmed leather hat, like. And I guess he kind of like notices your presence, leaves like one calloused salt across its arm. Just lifts it in acknowledgement.
I approach him and say, "Good day, sir. I am currently walking across these piers to look for a ship that would serve my master for a nightly fishing tour that might also turn into a daily fishing tour on the Sunday. Would you be interested in renting your ship, including maybe your services of guiding the ship?"
It could be done, it could be done. Yes, most certainly. If you're looking for a fast ship, this is one of the fastest. Fishing
Inside
trips
check.
in the docks. Yeah, go ahead. And me and my companion would be more than glad to show you the ropes, but I have a question for you, sir. Are you certain you can afford us?
Well, my master is someone who has a bit of money. If your fees seem reasonable, I would consider hiring your services. First of all, please tell me, what would you charge for a night and a day of spending on the ocean?
Do you have your own fishing tools, or?
Oh, no. We would. My master comes from land. He. To be honest, he is trying to impress his friends, to be someone of culture and someone who is interested in learning some local
Right.
skills, I would say.
Well, we could provide those as well, no problem. I'll get a couple of fishing rods. I imagine it would be more appropriate for an amateur. I guess he'll want to rent us for a full day. Trip here and there, along the coast. 50 gold, everything included.
That sounds reasonable.
That sounds totally not reasonable with your inside checks.
I would like to add, the fee sounds reasonable if you are to be trusted. You see, my master is someone of very high nobility. And if rumors spreads that he is going to be on this boat tonight, he would not have a very pleasant day, as many diplomats would seek out his counsel. You see, he's a very, very known diplomat, and he wishes to spend his time in Nobo with his private interests, not just work. So if that 50 gold buys your silence, I am happy to agree to that sum.
I understand the man of discretion. That is fine.
That is fine, and just to inform you, if you agree to this and you start blabbering, my master has a temper, and he is known to throw people into the water. So, if
Don't
you agree,
threaten me. Not unless
I
you know how to sail the ship.
oh, I do not threaten. It's just a promise.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know my secrets. I did the first in the run in February, and nobody knows how to do that. Me and my Centennial Phoenix will get you where you want.
Does he tell does he tell the truth on that?
Make an inside check. No. At least not about swimming to Fristender in February. That part was definitely bullshit. Me and my companion will get you tipped up.
Good. I will pay you half of it now as a reservation fee, and the rest once we finish our trip in safety. Without any molesting people sniffering about the boat.
When do you intend to board?
Well, we will approach you somewhat in the evening, I would say.
Alright. Then we have a deal, my friend.
Wonderful. I shake on it.
Then until evening.
Yes. One thing. Do you happen to know which one of those bigger ships is the Minotaur?
Yes, it's the second one. In the row
Thank you.
from the left.
Thank you. I am to meet my master there. And to be honest, all the boats look alike to me. I unfortunately do not know much about ships. Thank you. Good day.
Later you.
Did he behave any strange or?
He gave you a strange
Well.
look at the end, but
Okay, I will fuck off. Go back to the group. But before that, I will go into an alley and transform back. And then just tell them, I got a boat. I know where the ship is.
How'd you get a
Question.
boat?
Okay, here's the deal. I'm gonna be a rich prick, Lord Dick. And you are going to be my friends, who I wish to impress by learning how to fish. You can call me Lord Cocker Spaniel.
I like Lord Dick better.
No, Lord Cock Spaniel.
Mallory just pinches the bridge of her nose.
I come from a land far, far away, and you are some friends that I wish to impress. And you wish to impress me as well.
Lord Cocker Spaniel, do you have inspiration?
No.
Take
I
1d
stand
for
up.
inspiration.
Thank you.
Oh dear.
Are they coming with us? Or is this that we need this gig?
Sorry, what?
Do we have a crew that you hired as well since we are doing this gig?
Yes. There will be 2 shady dudes. They lied up, told me some bullshit story about shipping to Frostvindur in February. Which
They can?
No, dude, was bullshit.
Oh, okay.
But I paid them a lot of money to keep their fucking mouth shut. So I think we should be fine.
You paid them?
Yeah.
Question: did Jahan get to buy his clothes and chef outfit?
Make an investigation check. You certainly did. You certainly did.
Nice.
Right, like 2 gold off for that.
All right.
Right. So, while you were doing all of that and Jahan was buying his outfit, Aris is sitting bored in a waiting room in Hyperbole when you get a communication through your sending stone. It reads code word. Everesca requests Huron's Talons as Anna's escorts.
Okay.
I need.
I'm pretty fast with writing. You can.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I was thinking. I need Aris in Kreuzung by Veljanok.
By what?
The December holiday is a great night, winter solstice.
Okay. Solstice. This is from the king.
Yes.
Starla's gonna be a prince.
No, this feels more like hacked communication.
Maybe the princess? I'm not there, never mind.
Yes, Aris is gonna be a princess.
Yes, he already is, in fact. Okay.
Quick question: do we have till 7 or till? Because we're on the same time. Do we have till 7 or 7:30?
7 like 20, so another half an hour. And you do wait for a long time in the waiting room until John Crosney returns, and well, I am quite sorry for this, but Mr. Tassiter could not spare the time.
I'm sure he actually can.
That may be so, but he will not be meeting you.
Yeah, how about you let him know that he wants any idea as to what's actually down deeper in there? He'll be interested in hearing this.
You do understand that if you have withheld that information, that it would be considered a breach of contract,
It might, right?
which is...
Wouldn't that be of interest to him?
You do understand that with this declaration of yours, I am allowed to retain you in our offices until we can obtain sensitive information from you or ascertain its truthfulness?
Nah, it was a lie, but if he wants to ever go back down there with us...
You know what? It may be a
Careful.
lie, but I need to make
Careful.
sure. I would like you to stay until...
No. You don't have
cannot
any
refuse.
authority over me. You can call the Azure Vigil and I'll be gone by now. Goodbye.
Security?
How do I want to disappear here?
There are already a couple burly uniformed men
Yeah, I'm sure
floating in
they're
your
coming.
direction.
Sure, I'll wait.
They approach and stand and look at you stupidly. Please escort this man, or rather, make sure that he doesn't leave this room. He possesses information belonging to the company, but please treat him with as much politeness as possible. As I've said, business is business, and it is all in the contract.
Sure.
You are left in the room with 2 security guards who start showing off and trying to upstand each other who looks more tough.
I'm down to wait. I'm sure this will lead me where I want to go.
Right. So, what is everybody else doing meanwhile?
I tell the group a bit about my personality that I'm going to have. My name is going to be Lord Cocker-Spaniel. I come from the southwest. I spend a lot of money because I have it. I have ties to all the important people, and I have a very bad temper. Especially if something doesn't go my way, I will use my connections to get people into prison. Just be like a royal dick with a Spanish accent.
Are you going there right now? Because it's still relatively early.
No, not right now.
Should I try and see if I could get aboard the ship?
What, as a crew member?
Yeah.
No, I think we already established that they've seen you, and
There's
even
a high chance that they know.
And even though you with the chef outfit, you're not probably gonna fool anyone. I'm sorry, I really wanted to, but my hands are tied.
Doesn't Arliss have a disguise kit?
Ooh, he might have a disguise kit.
Jahan
But,
looks
I mean,
a little bit heartbroken.
He disguised me that one day.
Yeah. We could actually go to Arliss and ask him if he could manage something up. But this is while we're walking back to Hyprobal, by the way.
Why would you be?
I thought we
pick up
wanted
Arliss?
I thought we wanted to go to the harbor and just check out the boat and see who's going onto the boat and who's coming off the boat.
No, just
No.
hire the boat. No idea.
Hire the boat and see how the boat looks like.
I just
Maybe
know
we can
which
put-
boat, just know which boat it is. I didn't take much of a look at it.
So we can put someone as a lookout. And I mean, when are they boarding the boat? Tonight?
It's easy.
So so we need a lookout to stay till we actually board our boat today.
I can stay.
Trying to think. So we leave Jahan to look out for the boat while we go and prepare whatever we need to prepare. And right before or as they're about to leave, you come back and tell us. Or we know when. Do we know what time they're about to leave? Exactly. You're muted.
We know nothing.
Yeah, I didn't think we got
Yeah,
any.
so that's why we need to look out. Okay.
Yeah, just someone in the evening.
All right, I can do that.
Okay. Does that sound like a sound idea, guys? Laura? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll check out. I will stay at the harbor too, just in case something. Just in case something happens.
Don't you need to change the disguise?
No,
How?
later.
Oh, okay.
I can only stay in that for 1 hour.
Okay. So I'm going to try and think how I'm going to prepare for this mission. You got anything in mind, Laura?
I mean, well, based on what Leo's idea is, I mean, we don't have to buy more expensive outfits, do we?
Oh, I want to buy a lot of booze. Like a lot.
It's probably on the docks.
I would probably buy something like 10 bottles of wine or something. You know what? Does any one of you know how to navigate a boat?
Wait a second. Does a land vehicle count?
No.
Then no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Well, I think we should. I think I will buy a lot of alcohol just in case we need our sailors to be not aware of what we're doing. We could just
Perhaps.
give them a lot of to drink.
Are you buying good
Trevor.
wine or bad wine?
Hmm?
Are you buying good wine or bad wine?
Isn't there medium wine?
No, I
Sure.
will buy good wine.
Because like basically, like if you wanna buy noble level wine, it's gonna be like 14 gold per bottle in Nebo.
Okay, I will
1.4.
buy 5 bottles of the good shit
Right.
and 5 of bad.
You're taking this off all of your personal funds?
No, of yours.
No,
course.
wait. You're getting more expensive than ours.
Trago. It's for a good cause. For
Giving wine to drunken sailors?
You're making them happy.
I'm making
I mean,
them
think-
drunk.
But,
I'll
think
spend
about
my-
it. They don't really. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm making them rich.
How often do they get to have a very special drink like that?
How much is the cheap shit?
The cheap shit is like 3 silver a bottle.
So I will just get 10 of them.
Trego,
Hmm?
didn't you have some sort of close friends here in the city or something?
Yes, friends and family.
I just thought of this now, but perhaps they would know of someone, of some sailors or something who might have lost their stuff because of this Cyclops guy, and perhaps they would be willing to sail the boat for us. They would have a motive to, like, help us out and not rat us out.
I seriously doubt that.
Okay.
My family is kind of loves Cerilius and doesn't know about his bad side, and my friends are all up for ratting out whatever is not legal.
Okay.
Your friends don't sound fun.
Oh, but my friends are very kind and good people,
Oh, that's good.
including you all.
Yay.
Would I know if sailors usually get the good stuff or the bad stuff? And if so, do they... Basically, what I'm trying to ask is, do they drink just to get drunk, or do they drink for the taste of it and the nice whatever?
Drunk.
They drink whatever they have money for.
Okay. Do they buy the good stuff when they are capable of?
Everybody buys the
Okay.
good stuff what they're capable of, but
Okay.
it doesn't last that long. And just, I guess, like I was looking for an example of how one of those big boats look like. It's something that big.
Damn, that's big.
It's pretty big, yeah.
Is it made out of wood or metal?
Wood. No metal ships yet.
Sturdy ship, you say?
Well, comparatively, it's definitely much sturdier and bigger than what you have rented. What you have rented is like
A sloop?
1/5 in size, I want to say. Like basically, like the 5 of you have enough space on board, I don't know, fish, but it's not like there's room for you to rest or sleep or anything.
Is it big enough to hold a Pegasus?
No.
Shit.
I was thinking about maybe going to buy some more scrolls or potion of like water breathing, water walking, maybe stuff that magic that can work on wood. Since we have
Shockwave to
ships
push
and magic
people
that
off the ship.
You're gonna break the ship.
Not with one shockwave, thunderwave.
Depends which ship or what boat.
I thought we were talking about the big one.
We're not sinking it if there are civilians.
No, but to push enemies overboard.
Like, this is what you have
Or maybe
hired.
hold person or hold monster.
Hold boat.
Those cufflings that we actually got are magic silence. We could also use those. Trying to think more. Like, what could go wrong? If Cyrillus poisons himself, could use the lay on hands. Do you guys have any other ideas of stuff that could help us?
I think water breathing, water walking. I think that is the most important thing. Something that keeps us alive in water.
John, anything in particular?
Not that I can think of right now.
What about you, Melora?
Like I said, I can get water breathing and water walking, but I'll have to take time to learn the spells again.
Can you turn into a dolphin or a shark or some kind of water animal? Sea animal?
Maybe a fish, but I don't think I could go a dolphin. Where I was living and growing up, we really didn't have much around us like that.
Oh, and you can only turn whatever you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, if we get lucky and we're on the ship and I see one, I might be able to.
We could, when they're looking out, go and have a nice walk by the seafood market. Of course, they're dead, but still, maybe that'll help out.
I mean, it might still work. I mean, considering it's still the
Like,
creature.
maybe octopuses. I don't know. We'll see. and in this out of character, this is in Trego's mind romantic. Walking in a stinky fish, seafood market, whatever. Yeah, this is like, oh, we're getting on a date.
Hey Laura, let's go look at that fish. Yes, Ruiz, you might like that fish.
Wait, are you trying to tell me something?
No,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
this is like genuinely Trego trying to be romantic.
Do I hear this?
Oh yeah, you're right there.
Okay.
And that's why my internal example of the highest difficulty check in the game, which is DC 30 with disadvantage, is Traeger trying to romance Lady Kazan. You're muted, Selim.
I think I'd actually go higher for that one, but yeah, it's pretty appropriate.
Oh, wait, I do have a spell that I could learn. It might be very dangerous though, but I might be able to create a maelstrom. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
What?
Let me just
Ooh.
link it.
A mouse drum? Is that like a drum that a mouse can?
I said I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Maelstrom.
Mouse.
Maelstrom. Yeah.
For when we want to sink the boat, we don't want to, or you guys don't want to. Yeah.
I mean, if we can manage to get Ceruleus off, I could focus it just on him.
Again, we don't want to kill him. We need his information.
Oh, true.
It does sound like a very exciting.
Out of character, would Melora be able to have a long rest?
What time?
Anytime
Like what?
between? Or would that always be basically at the end of the day when you go to sleep?
No, not at the end of the day, but basically, like, you can't benefit from a long rest until like some time after you've taken it already. Basically, you're
Okay.
not sleepy enough.
Do you have to take a long rest to relearn your magic spells, or does it take an hour each? Oh, okay.
Long
No,
rest.
it has long rest to the each morning I'm able to switch my spells.
Got it.
So,
I also have protection from poison.
Could help. It's not on the highest list because I have lay on hands.
I know that it's expensive, but if he does kill himself, you know a resurrection spell, don't you? And I know reincarnation.
I kind of. You see, like Trigger shivers a little bit, like cringes.
Rule is running halfling on a table. That would be awesome.
It's like
I mean, if-
cringing, like thinking about reviving that guy. Oh god,
I
and
know,
wasting all that good gold on him.
I know, but if we said we'd bring him back alive, that might be our only option. If he does commit suicide.
Yeah, we do have that option. I really don't want to use that.
Forcing people back to life just to interrogate them sounds a bit beyond what I'm feeling good about.
I understand you. But considering all the bad he has done, and with all my adventures, doing a little bit of bad to do a lot of good seems like the right choice for me.
All right.
I also might be able to control some water. If it might help us, I don't know.
That could be great.
oh yeah, do that.
That
Oh
sounds
shit, that's a lot to read.
Yeah, it's a large spell.
Basically, part water, you can just sink
Moses?
ship.
Moses away?
Well, maybe not on an ocean, but you can just basically say, okay, here's the ship. You make let it just drop 100 feet in the
No,
water.
it doesn't work like that because it's somewhere in the spells that doesn't move fast enough, basically.
Wait, what?
It doesn't move fast enough to capture a ship.
So
Well, we could redirect the flow and have it and send it back. Well, no, we wouldn't want to do that.
But we could carry it out of the area of the border so that we don't commit criminal activity on
This is
neighbors.
actually something that I would like Arliss to maybe look into, like what kind of. Actually, also buying scrolls and potions because I suck at doing these things.
Speaking of which, where is he?
He's supposed to probably finish his meeting with Tassadar and meeting us here, but
Meanwhile, Aris is being stared down by a small, mousy corporate clerk who's asking him stupid questions like, what is your name? What is the color of your clothes? Have you ever eaten pineapple pizza? Do you like sparrows?
So you two stay here and you watch over the ship. Me and Melora, I think we're gonna go get Arliss before we go shopping for these magical stuff and consulting which spells we should learn, because he's good with those. So we're gonna go get Arliss.
What is your mother's maiden name? What
I
is
know
the
that
name
one.
of your friend in school? What is your favorite dish?
They're trying to
Are
figure
your
out
eyes
your password.
golden?
We're going back to Hyperobal to bring Arliss with us to our shopping extravaganza.
Well, Arlis, what are you doing?
I mean, what's happening?
You're being asked those questions.
Are your parents brothers?
I'll answer the not too personal ones.
What do you
In
do
a
about
very
the personal ones?
Hmm?
What do you do with the personal ones?
I just don't say a word.
Do you
Alright.
like the color purple?
I'm just gonna keep asking you a couple of questions and you need to answer me.
Hmm.
Is your name Arles?
Yes.
Are you 25 years old?
I don't know.
Have you committed acts of terror on the territory of Nebo?
No.
Crickets.
Have you ever been persecuted for crimes?
Yes.
Have you stolen information from Hyperbole?
No.
Have you withheld any information about your trip to the Glittering Halls?
No.
Is the stable brown?
Is what brown?
The stable brown.
Which stable?
That's a good tactic. Answer him with another question.
Please answer the question. Is the table you're sitting in front of brown?
Oh, the table, not the stable.
Yeah, I understood stable as well. That's why I asked. Is it brown then?
I don't know, you tell me.
Yes, it's brown.
Kind of like looks at the
It was great.
individuals who are like this, and I guess reluctantly but very, very slowly you're being let go. Meanwhile, Treg and Miller have to wait. here for
I'm
about-
waiting here. I'm not leaving unless they force me out.
Oh no, they firmly insist that you should go now.
I'd like to wait here.
We're still on the way, or we are already there? Because I would like to say one small thing to Miller before we arrive. Like as we
yeah,
approach
you and
closer,
Laura are
yes.
being told to wait. Your friend is being processed for security reasons.
Do you smell that, Melora? It smells like burning wood. It smells like burning wood that used to be that wood used to construct a bridge.
Oh goodness, what did he do this time? And she just pinches the bridge of her nose again.
The chair you're sitting on is suddenly held up by the burly man, one hand on each side, and you're lifted into the air.
I'll get
and
off.
Your arms now are picked up by the burly man, and you're lifted into the air, and are being swiftly and bodily carried out of the room and along the corridor and into the front hall and past Melora and Frega and out of the main doors of the office, and you're left there.
For some
Yeah, I'll
reason,
wait
I'm not
here.
surprised. What'd you do this time?
I chose poorly in my words.
We leave you literally for 20 minutes.
It's been hours.
What happened?
No.
It has been hours.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
It
figuratively,
takes a while to walk to the docks because they're
why are they manhandling you?
I tried to. They didn't want to give me the meat. I tried an approach that I didn't know in the contract in that way. So I tried lying, but then the lie itself turned out to be an issue. So they detained me and asked me questions for like an hour. It was awful. I'm burning this
So-
place down someday.
Please don't.
So
Not
you
now.
didn't get the meeting.
No, I'm getting it though. Sooner or later.
Can we get it later?
I want that.
Can we get it later?
Why?
We gotta cause we left Jahan and Leos for
Do
watching.
you remember to go by the bank?
No, but we wanted you to help us out with all the spell preparations and scrolls and potions.
What preparations? talking about exactly?
Well, we were thinking about maybe buying some potions and scrolls of water breathing and
They don't have
water
scrolls in
walking
Nibble.
and so potions of all that magical stuff that you know and I don't.
Sure, lead the way.
Meanwhile,
We
you're
go shop?
welcome to have that chat conversation without typing.
Okay. Starting from the start then. You know, I really want to do that whole chef thing.
Let me check what I wrote.
I know. I really want you to do that too, but there is a high chance that they already know you and imprison you on the ship. They might even use you against us.
Can you do that line again, just with more like oomph to it, like more voice acting, more?
I know. I really want you to do that too.
Oh my god.
You know.
And this is where we're gonna end the game. No.
Yeah, I can't handle any more than that either.
It is a good plan, but if there is the chance that they know you're with us, and if you go alone on the boat, and they capture you, we will be far less strong if we have to fight against them, and they maybe even they have some tricks that could turn you against us, which would be even more horrible. We cannot risk getting split up.
All right.
But it was a very good plan.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Do we see any? I would probably stay somewhere that I can see what is going onto the ship and what is coming off, or who. Do we spot anything?
Right now, the ship is being loaded with a shitload of crates and barrels, and there are like cars and cars and cars upon this. It's like they're supposed to be having a party on that ship. Either somebody lied to you and they're still shipping something, or it's gonna be a party with like 8 courses of 20. If that's food, that's a lot of food. If that's food. It's hard to say, but it's a lot of stuff. It's still like 3, 4, I guess, in the afternoon. So it's still a good couple hours before what's gonna be called evening.
Do
You know what?
No, you go ahead.
I want to try something. I want to go up there in these nice clothes, and I want to say, "Hey, that looks like work that could use a pair of strong arms. Could you hire me for, I don't know, I'll say 50 copper. I don't know how much you pay someone for carrying stuff around. And then I'll carry things up, see if I can see anything aboard the ship. And if they throw a fit, I jump into the water and swim back."
Okay. I have one important thought that
Yep.
we should talk about. What if this is a distraction to get us out of the city? Because Ceruleus wants to pull something in the city and he doesn't want us to be here. What if he thinks if we get bite and follow the boat and we're a day off from the coast and he's doing some crazy ass shit in the city, like even overthrowing the patrician or something, and we're not there to help?
They have that girl with the giant robot. No, with the giant golem.
Yeah, but what if that's not enough? What if we should stay in the city?
No, that's really smart.
I think we should talk to the. I mean, I thought the whole time that dude, like, pushing the information about this ship saying that it is a trap. I don't know. It felt fishy to me the whole time. And I couldn't tell you why until this thought crossed my mind. And I think we should talk to the others about that.
Could also be it feels fishy because it's on a boat.
Thank you. Thank you.
We all thought it. Someone had to say it. That bad pun meter is just.
Leos is actually.
You know what else smells
actually
fishy
properly
to me?
laughing.
Tragus and Miller's date.
Oh yeah, I have to say something about that.
Go for it.
No, I will wait until Trego is back. Okay, how about that? How about we don't approach the boat? How about we take a look if Ceruleus is actually stepping onto the boat? And if he doesn't, and the ship leaves without him, we stay here.
Okay.
And
What if he's already on board?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he has too much other stuff to do that he would spend his whole day on a freighter ship. Let's wait for the others. We just take a closer look on at the boat. If we see anything that peeks out, and if it doesn't, we should discuss if we just stay here and just keep an eye on the things that happen tomorrow.
All right. I'll stay put. Lias is like actively preventing all of Jahan's bad ideas.
Well,
With just the best interest.
you are welcome to the group. But I do warn you that you don't have much time left for any conversation today.
Yeah, I think.
But this is all after the shopping?
No, but for me, it would be better if we could stop now because I'm going someplace tonight and I have a bus in either 10. No, I can't catch that one. I have a bus in 20 minutes that I can catch, and after the next one is a half an hour later. So for
Guess
the one
our
that
date will
works.
have to wait till next time.
Yes,
Yes,
I'd
indeed.
like it. Okay.
Right, in that case, that's it for tonight, folks.
All
See
right.
you later.